Why music changes your mood. Imagine this. You're having a terrible day. Nothing happened the way you wanted. You missed opportunities. You had difficult conversations. Maybe you're carrying stress that nobody else can see. Then a song starts playing. 3 minutes later. Nothing in your life has actually changed. Your problems are still there. Your responsibilities haven't disappeared. The world around you is exactly the same. Yet somehow, you feel different, calmer, lighter, more hopeful. How can that happen? How can a sequence of sounds change the way you feel? Why can music sometimes do what words cannot? And why has every human culture throughout history created music, even when survival seemed far more important? Today, we're exploring a simple question with a surprisingly complex answer. Why does music change your mood? Most people think of music as entertainment, something we listen to while driving, working, studying, exercising, or simply passing the time. But your brain doesn't treat music as background noise. In fact, music is one of the few experiences that activates multiple systems in the brain at the same time. When you listen to a song, regions associated with emotion become active. Regions connected to memory become active. Areas involved in attention, movement, anticipation, and reward also participate. Very few activities create such a widespread response. This is one reason music feels different from many other forms of communication. A conversation might engage your attention. A photograph might trigger a memory. A movie might create emotion. Music often does all of these things simultaneously, and when multiple systems become active together, your emotional state can change surprisingly quickly. The interesting part is that this process often happens without conscious effort. You don't decide to feel something, you simply press play, and your brain begins responding. One of the most important reasons music affects us so strongly is prediction. Your brain is constantly trying to predict the future, not years from now, not even minutes from now, the next second, the next sound, the next event. Prediction is one of the brain's favorite activities. It's happening while you walk, while you drive, while you speak, and while you listen to music. When a melody begins, your brain immediately starts looking for patterns. It asks questions. Where is this melody going? What note comes next? When will the beat return? Will the song surprise me? Or will it give me exactly what I expected? The most enjoyable music usually lives somewhere between certainty and surprise. If a song is completely predictable, it becomes boring. If a song is completely unpredictable, it becomes confusing. But when music balances familiarity with surprise, something interesting happens. Your brain stays engaged, it pays attention, it becomes curious, and curiosity is powerful. Every small prediction and every small surprise contributes to the emotional experience of listening. In many ways, music is a conversation between expectation and reality, and your brain loves participating in that conversation. But prediction alone doesn't explain everything, because some songs affect us in ways that feel deeply personal. Have you ever heard a song and instantly remembered a specific moment from your past? A summer afternoon, a long drive, a friendship, a relationship, a version of yourself that no longer exists. The song itself didn't contain those memories, yet somehow it unlocked them. This happens because music often becomes connected to experiences. When powerful emotions occur, the brain tends to store information together. The people, the location, the emotions, the sounds. Over time, music becomes associated with those moments. Years later, hearing the same song can reactivate parts of that experience. Suddenly you're not just hearing music, you're remembering, you're revisiting, you're reconnecting. This is why certain songs feel larger than they really are. They are no longer just songs, they become containers for memories. And sometimes a 3-minute song can hold years of emotional history. That emotional connection gives music extraordinary power, not because the song changes, but because we do. Now let's look at something even more surprising. Why do so many people listen to sad music when they're already feeling sad? At first, it doesn't make sense. If sadness feels unpleasant, shouldn't sad music make us feel worse? Yet millions of people do exactly the opposite. When life becomes difficult, they often choose emotional songs, slower songs, more reflective songs, songs that seem to match how they already feel. One explanation is emotional validation. People often want to feel understood. When music reflects an emotion you're experiencing, it can create a feeling of recognition. The song seems to say, "You're not the only one who has felt this. You're not the only one who has gone through this." That feeling can be comforting. Another explanation involves emotional processing. Music provides a safe environment for experiencing difficult emotions. The sadness exists inside the song, not inside a real-life threat. This allows people to engage with emotions without being overwhelmed by them. As a result, sad music doesn't always increase sadness. Sometimes it transforms it. The emotion remains, but the experience changes. Instead of feeling isolated, people often feel connected. Instead of feeling trapped, they feel understood, and that shift can be incredibly powerful. Music also affects something fundamental about human nature: connection. For thousands of years, humans have made music together, long before streaming platforms, long before radio, long before recordings. People gathered around fires, they sang together, they danced together, they celebrated together, they mourned together. Music helped individuals become part of a group. Researchers have observed that synchronized activities often increase feelings of social connection. When people move together, sing together, or follow the same rhythm, they frequently report feeling closer to one another. Music creates shared experiences, shared emotions, shared memories. In many ways, it acts as a social technology, a tool that helps human beings connect. And this may help explain why music has existed throughout every known culture, not because it was necessary for survival in the traditional sense, but because cooperation was, connection was, belonging was, music supported those things, and that made it valuable. So why does music change your mood? Because it reaches deeper than simple entertainment. It interacts with prediction, memory, emotion, attention, reward, and human connection. A song cannot solve your problems, it cannot change the past, it cannot remove every challenge from your life, but it can change the emotional lens through which you experience those challenges. And sometimes that small shift changes everything. The next time a song changes how you feel, remember this: you're not imagining it. Your brain is responding, your memories are responding, your emotions are responding. Music isn't just something we hear, it's something we experience, and perhaps that's why it has remained part of human life for thousands of years, because music doesn't simply fill silence, it helps us understand what it means to be human. But music can do something even stranger than changing your mood. Sometimes a single song can transport you back years in an instant. A forgotten summer, an old friendship, a moment you thought was gone forever. Why does that happen? That's what we'll explore in the next episode. Why some songs feel like memories.